Still, we never forgot our promise. We wrote to each other once a week for the next 8 years. I was there to meet her when she came home, with my wife and my first son, 8 months old. Growing up happens in a heartbeat. One day you're in diapers, next day you're gone. But the memories of childhood stay with you for the long haul.
When I got to the last speech, I went to read it, and it was very emotional. I mean, you know, like I was trying to not cry during the thing. And then Bob Brush was sitting there, and he was getting weepy.
And the thing is, after all these years, I still look back with wonder.
The last line of the show was something like, hey, a kid comes in the door and says, hey, Dad, come play catch with me, in voiceover. They asked if my kid Henry would read that line. So me and Henry finished the show up.
Dad, wanna play catch?
I'll be right there.
After production had wrapped, ABC officially announced what had already been decided. The Wonder Years had been canceled.
There was a big cry, and we all were talking. It was very much like I'd cry of happiness. We'll miss you. What a great run, you know.
When the last episode aired on May 12, 1993, it meant the dissolution of an off-screen family that had nurtured young actors from childhood through adolescence.
Our last wrap party was just so cheesy and sentimental. I mean, when it was so like, I love you, man. And it's true. It was 7 years with the same people. It was such a wonderful experience that it was so sad to see it go.
But unlike many child stars, the kids of the Wonder Years had no trouble moving on with their lives.
I had a really nice career doing films and doing other series, and I've had a child, which is amazing. I have a little boy called Oliver, and I'm doing an album right now.
I went to college. I graduated from Yale, and I'm in law school now. I'm expecting to graduate in the year 2003. I'm marrying a wonderful woman. I have a wonderful career ahead of me. I have a wonderful life.
Yes, there is life after the Wonder Years. I went to UCLA, and I graduated with a degree in mathematics, and I co-authored a research paper, Percolation and Gibbs States Multiplicity for Ferromagnetic Ashken-Teller Models in 2 dimensions.
I had all these experiences that I didn't have before because I was working. So you know the day-to-day experiences of you know going to school and hanging out with your buddies, and I was in a fraternity at college, and I mean I had a blast. I had an absolute blast.
After earning their degrees, Fred and Danica decided to return to show business. Fred starred in the NBC series Working and began directing episodic TV, while Danica made her stage musical debut in Grease and explored the independent film scene. Although excited about the future, they both stayed in touch with their friends and mentors from the past.
All right, great, cut. Moving on. So I started filmmaking, and my first project was a short film called Speechless, and Dan Laurie is actually in it with me.
Your last 9 reports were,
Brilliant.
clinical. Look, these patients are people. There's a lot more to this than a diagnostic manual. That's not what makes a great psychologist.
My first 9 reports got me to the top of my class.
Oh, well, I never said you weren't a great student.
Danica and Dan I see pretty often. Allie and Ken were at my parents' Super Bowl party on Sunday. You've been with people for so long. I've seen their babies born and been to their weddings, some of them. And, they're just part of your life,
Have you ever thought about your life?
Nearly 10 years after it aired its final episode, The Wonder Years lives on in syndicated reruns and in the hearts of its cast and crew.
I remember when Nick at Night called it classic TV, and it was putting it up with shows like I Love Lucy. I was stunned. I wasn't expecting that.
A whole new generation of little, 4-year-olds, again, from every walk of life that are now watching it on different cable stations. It's so great. It seems to just kind of keep living.
The legacy of the Wonder Years is what it left in in the hearts of the people who watched it. And the comment that you hear about the Wonder Years is not really, that was one of the funniest shows I've ever seen on television, or that was one of the most groundbreaking shows. But people do say that was a show that affected me the most.
We're so lucky that we got to be a part of something that was so special, you know? You just feel so blessed and so proud to have been a part of something that just meant so much to people.
Fred Savage now looks back at his time playing Kevin as his own Wonder Years. It was, he says, a wonderful place to go every day. Millions of television viewers felt the same way, and still do.